Tinx Live exclusively on Radio Andy, Channel 102. Guys, I need to have it on record now. I mean, like, whatever. The timing does line up already, but I'm just saying it on live radio so we have a record of it. If you've been on TikTok for the past 2 weeks, there's been this huge discourse on like if influencers are boring or whatever. Guys, thank God I announced my book before this happened, because there is a plot line in my book that you will think that what was completely inspired by real life events. I was shocked, and I was doing press for it yesterday. I was doing an interview, and she said I was flabbergasted. It was like you imagined you were psychic of what was going to happen. It's so wild. And so if you've enjoyed the conversation on whether influencers are boring or not, which I think is a really important discussion to have, I think about it all the time as an influencer, you will really like my book. I'm not just pushing my book, I'm saying it because when you'll read it, cast your mind back to these 2 weeks online and all the hot takes that people have had, you will be flabbergasted. Maybe I'm psychic. I am. My friend Lindsay knows that I'm psychic, but this is crazy. Hey, Mallory, what's up?
Oh my gosh, hi.
Hi, what's up? What's going on?
I'm calling about the fatal flaw friend theory.
Ooh, I love it. We haven't talked about this in a while. Tell me.
So I have this friend who works in the same space as me, or like the same industry, I guess. And it's not like a super common one. So we've always been able to really connect over that, confide in each other about what's going on in work. And so for the last 6 months, honestly, I feel like every single conversation we have is about work, her work, and it's basically just her complaining about it. But she does it in such a way that she's kind of trying to gloat almost. Like she's always saying how important she is at her job, and she always talks about her raise and how much responsibility she has. And one time she told me, she was like, I don't think you realize how much money I could be making if raised. I don't think you realize how stressed my job is. Yeah. And so it's just every conversation is so negative, and it comes off as her trying to tell me how superior her job is. And, I'm genuinely happy for her, and I like my job too. And I don't want to talk about work every single conversation that I have, though. And so it's gotten to the point where I've tried to steer the conversation away from work. She just won't stop. And I know myself, I know I'll say something kind of bitchy if the conversation continues. So I've just stepped back a little bit, and she's definitely noticed. So I don't know if it's calling her out, or if I just need to accept this fatal flaw.
Yeah, it's always tough to know whether you should do one last conversation. I don't know how important this friend is to you. To me, I know myself, I would just kind of set a boundary and not hang with them as much. It's really annoying when people talk about themselves constantly. It's really annoying. And it's also really annoying when people are negative. If you guys have read any Robert Greene, I love him. He's a great thinker. He says negative people infect you. It's like an illness. It can rub off on you literally. And I always think about that kind of gross visual to help me when people are just negative and negative and negative. If she's your really good friend, it's not only how good a friend she is and how much you care about the friendship, it's also how self-aware she is. I had one time my friend Catherine was like, you literally are talking about shopping so much. She was like, please stop sending me links of stuff. This was back when I was working in corporate. I would send her 100 emails a day being like, should I buy this? Do you like this? Do you think this would go with this? And she was like, this is really annoying. You need to stop. And I was like, oh, wow, fair enough. I had no idea. But I'm pretty receptive to feedback. So it just depends on if you think she's self-aware or not. And the thing with people, if she's talking about herself that much, if she's saying things like, do you know how much money I could be making? This girl does not sound that self-aware. So what's more than likely going to happen, you're going to stick your neck out and say, hey, I wanted to talk to you. You've been really negative. And she's going to go, what are you talking about? And then it's going to be fucked even more. So I think it's fine to set a boundary. This is why fatal flaw friend theory is really helpful, because this is it. That is her fatal flaw. She's not going to change. And you need to demote her a little bit so that for your own sanity.
And she is one of my closest friends. And the fact that we kind of work in the same industry, I don't know if it's her, wanting to confide in me more because I kind of understand, I guess, where she's coming from.
Sure.
So that's just what's kind of complicated it, I guess, a little bit further.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you have to weigh whether she will be receptive to it, or if you can find a way, or if you can even be bothered. Some friends were already a level 2 for me, and then their flaw just flared up. And I was friends with one girl, and she was kind of the same way, but it wasn't about work. It was about how pretty she was. And she would just always talk about oh my God, well, I walk into a room and every guy looks at me, and it's just hard because I have a boyfriend and everybody's obsessed with me. And I was like, dude, I just this is boring to me. And I'm not anybody's therapist, and I have enough close friends that I don't need to stick this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough to know when to do it. It's really tough.
Yeah, definitely.
I think about whether she could be receptive and see, or you could say like, if she, says, hey, you've been kind of distant lately, you could try to put it in a way where it's like, you've just been like kind of making me feel bad about myself, like with how much you're talking about yourself and, how much money you make and, just it's kind of a lot and it's been not good for me. So I had to set a boundary. Use the B word. If you are going to have the talk, use the B word so that it feels like it was a conscious decision because you were, you know what I mean? It feels more.
Yeah. Intentional.
Yeah. Intentional. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do.
All right. Well, good luck. Let us know how it goes. If you care to send us an email, it's meetings@SiriusXM.com. I do want to know what the upshot is because it's always a tricky one to know. But thank you for calling. Good luck.
Thanks. Happy hump day.
You too. Love you. Bye. It's so tough to know whether to just have the combo with Fatal Flaw. It's really, really, I don't have a good formula for it. You have to go case by case. But it's a lot. It's a lot. I may be a little bit surprising to no one, erring on the side of not doing it because I'm a little bit like, sort your shit out. Keep your side of the street clean. If you can't, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of good. But maybe I'm too far on that side. So let's talk to Megan. Hey, Megan. Hi. What's up? Welcome to the show. Yes, I can.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, first of all, that I also could not sleep last night. I was up till like 4 a.m., but I'm going to London, so I'm really excited.
Fun. Hell yes. Okay, we love a little trip. Yeah, something was in the air last night. It was crazy. Anyway, tell me, what's going on?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm 34. I live in New York. I don't date very often. I think I just don't connect with a whole lot of people, and the people I do connect with, it takes me a long time to get over. Anyway, I met this guy on Hinge in November. We had really good chat before the date. I know I was trying not to get too excited, but
Sure.
When I first met him, I was like a little not super into his looks, but we got along really well. There was lots to talk about. I really find his job interesting. I love his worldviews. He's was immediately very communicative. He treats me well. And in the past, I've gone for really elusive, kind of confusing men. I do go to therapy, so I'm working on it. But I guess what I'm wondering here, I wanted to tell you how I've been feeling and whether I need trying with this guy or whether I send it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, he's very communicative. He treats me really well. Anyway, I was excited in the beginning, but I've never been super attracted to him. I don't miss him, but every time I see him, I feel happy. I'm like, oh, he's cute. He treats me really well. Again, we just get along so well. Our humor is the same. We've never had a conversation about being exclusive or anything, so I'm still on Hinge. Anyway, I feel myself pulling away. I know that's my avoidant kind of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
He really wants to cuddle. He's very touchy-feely, and it's just not my love language. And when he is hugging me or cuddling me, I feel panic. I feel like I need to get
Okay, this is
out of
not probably your guy if you feel panicked when he hugs you.
Yeah, and then the other morning, I was just awake in his bed, and I just panicked, I needed to get out.
Okay, Megan, what the fuck? This is not even a difficult one. What the fuck? You shouldn't feel panic. That's insane.
No, I know, but I also know that it's my avoidant behavior. He's very clear about how he feels, and it makes me to pull away. And again, I know that I need to work on this in therapy, and I think about it all the time. I just feel I'm 34. Am I ever going to find someone that I like who treats me well? Am I
Well, what are the options? Marry this guy who makes you feel panic and suffer through a couple of years of marriage, pop out a kid, and then get divorced, or roll the dice and see and work on this shit in therapy and see how it goes. Those are the options. That's diabolical.
No, I know. I just don't know. It's been 5 months, and
I do feel at this point you should miss him. I feel like you should miss him. If something funny happens, you want to pull out your phone and text him. You want to cuddle with him. You want all that stuff. I really do feel if you deserve that, and that's available to you. Even the most avoidant person, it's available to you, and you don't sound that avoidant. I don't know. I feel this is not the descriptor. You can't make a choice out of fear. You cannot make a choice out of fear. Let me put it that way. That is something that I've always been a guiding principle of my life. You cannot make a choice out of fear. And this thing of MOL, am I ever going to meet someone? I don't know is the honest truth, but I know that you can't stay out of fear because that is a really, really, really bad way to live your life. And it won't won't work out in the long run. Like, I'm not saying with this, but like choosing things out of fear will only lead you to a bad place. You have to run to things, not from them.
I feel like I'm the asshole guy in this situation. Like I'm really struggling to figure out how to end it, and I just keep letting it continue because it's like he hasn't asked for more, and I do enjoy his company.
Which, by the way, you don't have to make a choice. If it's not stopping you from going on dates with other people and you want to keep seeing him casually, he hasn't defined it. You know, you could say like, hey, I'm enjoying this, but I just want you to know, like, I see this as a casual thing, and see what he says.
Yeah.
You can always do that.
Yeah. I just feel so heartbroken. Like I've always had an issue. I don't know, like hurting people's feelings. I just feel panic at the idea of like having an honest conversation. Again, I know I need to get over this.
I think you need to get your butt back to therapy, girl, big time. Like if you can't have a convo with someone you've been sleeping with for 5 months and you feel panic and like all this stuff, like this is stuff that needs to be worked on, because that will also that's very real. Do I think this is your guy? No, I really don't. But do I think these issues you're raising could eventually cause you to not, miss people that are meant for you? Yeah, I do. So I think that's important. I'm really sorry. I have to wrap the show right now, but be honest with the guy. Shoot from the hip. That is so fucking attractive. Even if someone is breaking your heart, if they say it honestly, that's to me a good person. And then at least you're good. You're keeping your side of the street clean. It's dishonest to lead him on if you think this is definitely not going to go anywhere. So I think have an honest conversation and then you're good.
Okay, thank you, Tinx.
Love you. Lots of love. Good luck. Bye. Whew. Okay, that was our show. What a great show it was. We went all over the place and now we're back on Earth. I love you guys, and I will see you back here on Friday. We got Lucas on office hours. He wanted a do-over. He didn't feel like he was charming enough for y'all, so he's going to win you the fuck over on Friday. Until then, I love you. Bye.